I used to ride my bike every single day, but I didn't tell my parents about my accident. I didn't tell a lot of people. I was like just hiding it. Because I knew that some of my friends were gonna tell me like, please don't ride again. So it was 2016, and I was riding home after finishing a ride with a bunch of friends, and we hung out all day. So this is probably around 5 p.m. or closer to sunset, and I'm riding north on a very busy street, and it didn't have a bike lane. So I was just taking a full lane, but I was behind a car. My hands were on the top of the bars, not like on the brakes or in the hood. So I was a little bit distracted, and maybe going 20 miles per hour behind the car, and we were crossing a intersection, a green light, and maybe for 5 seconds I looked left just looking around. And when I turned my head back, I realized that the car is gonna stop like suddenly in front of me, and there's no time for me to even reach for my brakes or go right or left. It was already too late. I saw my front wheel like bumping into the back of the car, and then I just flew onto the back window with my face, like broke the whole glass. And I realized there was 2 people sitting on the back seat, but I just remember falling towards left. And then my first reaction was like, where's my bicycle? You know, what happened? And I tried to get up, but there's all this blood and glass coming out of my face, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't move. I should just stay still, like don't react. And I can tell people were like gathering around me, and the driver was like, don't move, like ambulance is coming. And it was a whole show in the middle of the street. And when the ambulance showed up, they just took a gauze and then like stuck it to my face and like helped me get up and took me in the car. And I was okay. Like I was wearing winter clothes. I was like with a vest on, and I had like regular pants on. I had tennis shoes. Like I didn't have cleats or any of that. So my body was fine, but just my whole face was in pain. I just felt like hundreds of like little glass pieces like stuck to my face, and I knew that I can't touch it. They told me like they were gonna clean it up and just, you know, take stuff out, and they took me to the hospital to be like looked at. I had like a few teeth broken. Yeah, it was an adventure, but it's funny. A few days later, I went to the police station to pick up my bike, and my frame was completely broken. Like it was just broken. So I knew I can't ride this bike anymore. And I went to my, maybe I want to say a week later, I went to the hospital to get my stitches out. So I had like a long cut here, and I think it was like 10 or 12 stitches. And I was waiting at the hospital, and I see this guy walk in. He had like a cut, and he was gonna ask them to like do some stitches there. And he recognized me right away. He was the owner of the local bike shop that I used to go to in the Upper West Side. A Master's bike shop, love those guys. And he basically saw me there, and he's like, oh, like, no, what happened? Like, I was still like all scratches here, and like my face was still scratched up, and here that was very ugly for a few days. And I told him the whole story, and I started crying, telling him that, you know, I don't have a bicycle anymore and my bike broke. And he said, it's okay, like I'll just come to my shop when you get everything situated, and just like we'll give you a new bike. Don't worry about it. And so I showed up, of course, 3 months later, and this guy took me in. He had like a basement full of used bikes, and he's like, just go look around and tell me what you like, and you know, we'll see if it's your size. You know, we'll give you a bicycle. And then when I went down there, I looked around for a few minutes. There was maybe, I want to say like 20 used bikes. And then there was one bicycle that I was like, whoa, like it was like a very bright red. It said Specialized on it. I had no idea what that was, but I was like, wow, like it had a white saddle, and then it had like a sticker that said World Champion on it with like a bunch of colors. And I told him like, this is it, like I know what I want. And he's like, no, you can't have that. That's for bike racers. You're not a bike racer. And I was like, wait, what? Like I always wanted to be a bike racer. Maybe, you know, this is it. Like this is for me. And then he was trying to like argue with me that I'm not tough enough. I'm not good enough. Like I can't do it. And of course, he ended up selling it to me, and then he helped me get my first pair of shoes with the clips, and taught me how to like clip and unclip. And then we just started training together. And I think I thank God every day for my accident, because that's how I got in my first like race bike. And yeah.